I saw this hand first, so I've got to go here first. So go for it. Oh, yes. Yeah, hey.
I'm not going to ask the burning question, because I know everybody wants to know what was on the back of the card, but I'm not going to. So I just want to say congratulations on getting distribution for the film. It was very well deserved.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. So blessed.
So for this being your first time directing, I just want to know if you got any advice from the directors that you've worked with, any tips or...
Sure.
Great. So the question's around advice from any of the directors you've worked with in your directorial debut?
Well, it's tricky because directing is such a multifaceted thing. It's hard to kind of, specify one part of the process. But I did have a few directors that just said, don't be too proud. You're surrounded by a lot of people who know what they do. This is my first time out. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I know. I know what I don't know. And don't be too egoic to lean on people. You're surrounded by really talented people who have extensive experience. So make sure you utilize that information. And I did.
Cool. Thank you for your question. Yes, I saw it here and then up there. Mm-hmm.
You got it. Did I say that?
Yeah. Working with yourself.
So yes, great question. How is it working with yourself?
I never showed up on time. I took direction horribly, and I complained about my trailer every day. It was actually great. It's wonderful as an actor to. The scariest thing as an actor, as I'm sure any actor out there will say, is taking risks, taking chances, because you interpret the material, your initial instinct has a gut reaction, and you give those performances, but then you want to try things. The scariest thing is then handing that performance over to sometimes a director, sometimes a group of people who make choices. And I've seen plenty of my films where you think, I can't believe you used that take. What were you doing? The best thing about directing yourself is that you can try anything you want to try. You can really swing for the fences and take risks, because ultimately it's up to you what you use.
Thank you for your question. Yeah, up in the balcony. Yes, thank you.
Hi there, Chris.
I can't see you.
Oh, welcome to Toronto. Congratulations on your directorial debut.
Oh, you're there. That was the good hand gestures.
I think you directed with a sensitive and light touch, and I'm sure 1,700 people here.
Are we paying?
My question is, what drew you to this story? For me, it was like an ode to New York City as well, finding a connection in a city like New York.
Sure.
Great. So what drew you to the story?
Well, the short answer is that I like scripts that read like plays. Most screenplays you read, you're lucky if you get a scene that lasts more than 4 pages. You read a play, you got 20, 30 pages. So I like dialogue that's given away to give birth to kind of relationships. Neil Rebuke's great at that stuff. The long answer, and I'll try and make it short, is that I think I like love stories. And this, to me, is a love story, not necessarily to each other. It's a love story to love. You have two characters who love by a code. They believe in love. They give themselves to love. And when you do that, it's scary. You run the risk of being hurt. And these are two characters who are on the verge of being hurt and taking that damage upon themselves as who they are. That's sad when that happens, when those scars become a part of you. And I think when they found each other, they kind of revitalized their idea of what love can be. And that's kind of why they go apart, because it's not necessarily love to one another. It's a love story to love, the idea of love. And I think that's more romantic than any love story could be to people. This is my...
Thank you for your question. I'm going to go up to the third round. Yes.
Chris, I've been a massive fan ever since I was 8 years old.
You're so high up there. I'm shocked you got picked. You should be thrilled.
I've been a huge fan since I was 8 years old. Fantastic Four is my favorite movie.
You're just making me feel awful right now. You're like awesome at 21.
You're Johnny Storm, you're Captain America, and now you just did an incredible movie. You're absolutely fantastic, and you're going and directing now. So, I guess my question is,
Why are you so old?
as you embark on these different projects and you're doing these really awesome things, you're this icon, how do you feel about knowing that your work influences people in their lives that you never met before? Never met?
Can you repeat that? That's a good one. So how do you feel knowing that your work impacts people that you've never met?
I mean, that's unbelievable. That's why I like doing what I do. That's kind of why I wanted to get into directing, because acting is great, but really it's a very small piece of the puzzle. As an actor, it's wonderfully fulfilling, but it's this kind of, you're one piece of the puzzle, you know, and it's not very tangible. As a director, you actually get to make something and build something. And growing up, I was very creatively fickle, and I liked making things, and this could be wildly egoic, but something fantastic about making things is showing things to people, sharing what you worked on, and collaborating and getting feedback, and just the process of creativity when it incorporates the other is so much more satisfying, and acting always felt a little bit like an island. Directing is kind of the bringing in of so many people, from prep to production to post to this. So for me, it's to think that it's actually affecting people in a positive way is beyond fulfilling. And I really hope to continue doing it, and that's why I'm kind of addicted to directing now.
Thank you. I don't want you to throw things at me, but we have time for one more question, and I apologize if it is not your question.
What's your
But I'm going to choose.
Blue.
I feel slightly maybe. Yes.
Hi, Chris. You've played so many interesting characters, from indie films to iconic ones. What would you want to do in terms of your directing? What is your most passionate sort of role you'd like to direct?
Great. So the question is, as you move forward directing, what kinds of stories, what kind of character interests you?
That's a good question. I mean, meaning like, what would I want to direct myself in?
Yourself, or
Anybody? Anybody? I mean, I like movies, the movies that I like. I've been asked this question all week, and I like movies, and I think this movie has a lot of it. I like movies that kind of capture, Cameron Crowe does it phenomenally well. Little moments that really don't matter to most other people, but to the user, the experience in that moment, it's everything. And if you can kind of capture that moment beautifully and slap some good music on it and make it really special and unique, it all of a sudden becomes iconic, you know. And I kind of like, I was watching Breakfast Club today in my hotel room with my family, and you just have these little moments that, you know, if you try to explain it to someone else, it's not going to be the same as to the person who is in the middle of the experience. So I like simple relationship stories, you know, brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, things that we can all relate to that on a grand scheme might not seem too profound, but if shot correctly, it's the beauty of cinema, you can make little moments epic. And so I hope to make movies like that. Did I answer that? Or did I just kind of like...
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you did. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up. But I would like to thank you all so much for sticking